And so it is with a heavy shart that I have to let you know the following information. The new film, The Kiss of the Spider-Woman, starring Jennifer Lopez, is bombing at the box office. The Thursday through Sunday grand totals are in, and this is domestic. Buckle up. $840,000 is the take-in. Some may look at that and go, it's not too bad for a little indie film. I mean, what do you expect? It's a musical. It's a reimagination of an old film based on an old book. Well, it is pretty good. Yeah, sure. If the budget wasn't $50 million, let's talk about this. Contrary to popular belief, this has nothing to do with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Just because it has Spider-Woman in the title doesn't mean there's some Elseworlds multiverse bullshit going on, okay? You know, and this is a bit of a cheat code, but if they would have just tweaked the title from Kiss of the Spider-Woman to Kiss of the Spider-Man, we would easily clear that $50 million. This might be a $500 million picture. And speaking of spiders, if you wouldn't mind webbing up the subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, I would appreciate it. But let's really break this down, what we're dealing with and why this movie failed. Well, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to realize that Jennifer Lopez is not the most liked celebrity out there. There's full fan clubs that just despise this woman. For me personally, I don't follow her life or drama. I just report on movies and movie-related content. And she's been in some good stuff in the past. And by past, I mean like 30 years ago. The last few movies I saw of hers were absolutely terrible. This Is Me, ... Now, The Greatest Love Story Ever Told. And I'm exactly the same with her when it comes to music. In fact, the last song I remember loving was the one with Ja Rule, where she's like, and I'm real, the way you walk, the way you move, the way you talk, and I can't go on without you. And it's really less about her and more about Ja Rule doing the baby crazy. You can put him with anyone and you're gonna sell me. So Jennifer Lopez was definitely not a selling point, but when you're a big celebrity, you're gonna have a lot of haters and you're also gonna have a lot of fans. I don't know what you call J-Lo fans. Are they Jennies? Is that the fandom? Well, the Jennies didn't show up for this one. And I think that leads into my second reason why this failed. Now I'm numbering these for some reason out of nowhere. I didn't see jack shit on this movie as far as advertising was concerned. I did not see a trailer. I did not see a single advertisement. I only saw a poster when I was going to the theaters and J-Lo had a really dumb pixie cut with the black spidery hair coming down and like a claw hand. It was not good. But they put nothing into the advertising of this movie, and they had to go up against Tron, which isn't like a massive film by any means, but they were advertising the crap out of Tron. So this film was tossed in the corner and overshadowed from the get-go. Then you also have the fact that the original movie came out in 1985, was very well received, won several awards, and you're gonna have audiences go, why did they need to redo that? And they might be completely turned off by the fact that this is going the Broadway route, it's a musical now, which can easily take away from some of the dramatic moments the story has going for it. And that leads me to my C point. Now I'm lettering things. The movie fails on an emotional front. The lead actors did a fine job in all the prison scenes, but anytime we jump to the musical aspect, Jennifer Lopez is providing nothing for the story or her character. Instead, it just looks like I'm watching her performing. I don't feel like I'm watching a character. She just has dual roles as Jennifer Lopez in different costumes. The evil Spider-Woman and the beautiful Aurora character. I would say that budget is also a factor for this film. I can't even say that though, because this movie didn't even hit $1 million. So even if they really went on the cheap with it and did the whole thing for like 5 or 10 million, we're not even getting a fraction of that. And keep in mind, you gotta double your budget in order to be profitable because the movie theaters have their cut of the sales. You have marketing, maybe they saved everything on marketing, but still $100 million. This is never gonna get even close to that. Inevitably, when I do one of these videos breaking down the box office, people always push back and go, sir, as they often address me, sir, they say with tears in their eyes, why are you talking about a movie failing when it's only been out for 4 days? Let it cook. Well, it's because the first few days are crucial and they set the tone for what's to come. In the first 4 or 5 days, you will see the highest highs for almost every single movie. And after that, it's just a downward slope. And usually a standard movie is going to drop by about 60%. So if this movie manages to eke out $1 million in 7 days, it's going to drop 50 to 60% the next week, and then the week after that, and the week after that. This thing's going to be lucky if it pulls in $3 million in its theatrical run, off of a $50 million budget. A final point I'll say on the ill-conceived side is just the cast in general. There are no big names outside of J-Lo, and J-Lo is doing the singing, the dancing, the sex appeal thing, and she's like 60. Not saying she's not pulling it off, I'm just saying it's probably not gonna have the reach that someone like Margot Robbie could have. I'm pretty sure no one under the age of 30 gives two shits about Jennifer Lopez. And so not casting an actress that has a bit more range as far as the demographic is only gonna hurt things. Now, some might question why they even cast her to begin with in this. Well, that answer's simple. Ben Affleck's production company fronted a lot of the cash for this film, so they probably had a big hand in casting the part. Acting! It's all about who you know. And just to kind of close things out, put a fine point on it, which I might have alluded to or addressed fully already, but I forgot everything I say within about 5 minutes. I will just end with musicals typically, outside of like the larger than life Wicked or something like that, a K-pop Demon Hunter that's more animated and fun and lively, typically are not the biggest box office draw. And so not knowing the audience going into this was a critical mistake. Even more bizarre is they pushed this film ahead of time before even having a distributor to different film festivals to get that early hype and buzz, because they're looking for Oscars here. They're looking for the awards on this one. It's not always about the cold, hard cash. Sometimes it's about the notoriety. Sometimes it's about making a name for yourself as an actor or as the company responsible for distributing or producing the film. In any case, in all cases, I suppose, I think this thing's gonna fail miserably. I don't think a top-tier actress for the Razzie Awards is gonna grab herself an Oscar anytime soon, but I guess we'll find out. Weirder things have happened, Amelia Perez. All right, that's all I have for you. Please leave a comment letting me know what you think about this news below. Did you see this film and love it and you're really sad at the results? I watched it and reviewed it, thought it was a pretty miserable experience. It had some great concepts, obviously, but they were addressed much better years and years ago in both book and cinema form. All right, let me know. Again, would love to have you subscribe to the show, Adam Does Movies, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and hopefully I see you next time. Take care. 'Cause I'm real, baby, I'm crazy. Oh, wow, you're still here. Well, since I have you, maybe think about jumping by the old merch store, Adam Does Movies, and pick up one of these Adam Does Movies Halloween tees. It's got Jason on the cover there on the logo, a little Friday the 13th inspiration in time for the holidays. On top of that, maybe think about becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies to really help support this one-man band. And that way I can afford to actually put out some candy this year for the trick-or-treaters and not just an empty pumpkin with a sign that says "Take one only." Implying that some fat little crap took all of them and left right away. Okay, that's all I got. Take care.